Hi friends, thank you for joining in another Meditation Monday. This is a weekly video series where we encounter different spiritual practices. Originally for today, we were going to do a prayer in nature, kind of embrace the trees, the sounds of maybe some animals or the ocean. But if you've been watching the forecast lately, you'll notice that this week is not a great time to try to pray in nature. It's pretty gross and rainy outside. So we'll save that for another time, so stay tuned. But I wanted us to explore a different practice today. This is a more inward practice. This is the daily examen, and it comes from Ignatius of Loyola. And it's about, I think 1500s in Spain, and he was wounded in battle, and while he was recovering, he kind of had this pondering, this deep experience of God, this mystical moment. And it led him kind of to develop this practice, this daily examen, where he would reflect on his life, on his day, on a week, and try to see God, search for God in the experience of his life. And through time, this has trickled down to be a very helpful tool for individuals and for groups. You could do this with a group of people where you practice the examen together. But essentially, for the examen, you want to select a period of time, maybe the past 24 hours. Some people do this right when they wake up or right before they go to bed, and they reflect on the day before. You could look at a week, or you could look at a very specific moment in time. The hope is that as you encounter your life, as you remember and relive the life of your experience, you would begin to see God in ways that maybe you didn't notice it the first time. And the hope is not to place judgment on what you are remembering, what you are reliving. It's not to say, oh, I did that and that was really bad, or, well, I'm so proud of myself because that was really good. It's just a time to reflect and say, this was my life, this was my day, this was my week. Where is God in that? Where can I find God in that? Where is God speaking to me in that? And so you could do the daily examen in a lot of ways because it can be very unique to you. So I encourage you to Google the daily examen practices. I'm sure you'll find a ton of different options and questions. So see which ones work for you. But we're going to do one today that comes from a book called Creating a Life with God by Daniel Walpert. And he has an example of an examen in the back. And you can do this, like I said, with yourself interiorly, or also with a group. This could be an exercise for a Sunday school class or small group. So to get started, let's be still. Let's close our eyes and focus on our breathing. With the examen, we welcome God's presence in our lives, and we do so by recognizing God breathing into us and dwelling inside of us. Holy Spirit, fill us. Think about the period of time that you will choose to examine. Maybe it's the past 24 hours, Maybe it's the past 6 hours or the past week. And think back through your life in that time. Where were you? How did you feel? Who did you see or talk to? If you need to pause this video to keep reflecting on that period of time, I encourage you to do so, and then resume when you're ready to reflect on the examen questions. As you are traveling through your life in your mind, what were you most grateful for during this time? Again, you may want to pause after each question if you need more time to answer and reflect, and then resume when you're ready. So question 1, what are you most grateful for during this time? Question 2, when did I feel exhausted, or drained, or angry during this time? When did I feel exhausted, drained, or angry? These next 3 questions are ones we want to really make note of. What specific events, thoughts, emotions, or experience draw my attention? What specific events, thoughts, emotions, or experiences draw my attention? What are you attracted to? What captivates you in this time? What aspects of this time repel you? What aspects of this time repel you and have the opposite effect? They don't draw you in. And what things feel out of place or unsettled? What feels out of place or unsettled during this time? Make sure that those past 3 questions, what attracts you, what repels you, and what is unsettled, that you make note of those. Lastly, what moments from this time speak to my deepest desires? What moments from this time speak to my deepest desires? When you are done reflecting journaling or jotting down your thoughts. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. The examen is a practice that really should not be done in just a 3 to 5 minute video, but something that you really spend time with, that you focus on, that you give your attention to. So as you explore the examen in your day-to-day life, find time, carve out time where you can be still for 10 to 15 minutes, even longer, and really devote to this reflection. Because once you have written your answers or made notes on your phone of what you were feeling, answering to those questions, you're going to want to meditate and pray over your responses and ask, where did I see God in all of this? And where was God absent? Where were times that I did not feel God? And again, there's no judgment being placed on either of those things. It's not that sometimes we're doing something that we think is a really good thing to do and we don't feel God in it. And then sometimes you could be doing something where you don't expect God to be at all, and then boom, the Spirit shows up. It's not about right and wrong. It's about becoming aware to God in your life. And if you can start to see experiences of God in certain things that take place in your day and in your life, well, maybe we can be more attuned to those moments. Maybe we can search for those moments a little harder to find more God together. I hope that you try this out in different ways and explore the daily examen. If you need other resources, please let me know, but I do think that you'll find a lot of options on the internet. A lot of people use the daily examen in a lot of different ways. A lot of different groups and organizations have adapted this as well. So enjoy reflecting on God's presence in your life, and be well.